for those of you who just joined us, I'm David Wright, and we're live with Alejandro Salvador from Salvador Tax and Legal. And Alejandro is a tax and residency expert and also the honorary British consulate for Almeria. So, hi, good afternoon, Alejandro. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, David. Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're just talking about briefly going over the latest news for the driving license, and there isn't any, is there? You can't go on the phone to your friend Hugh Elliott and chase him up a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, it looks like we are closer. We are closer again. Yeah, you probably read the same thing that everyone read. That it was that the agreement is set in place apparently, and that they are just waiting to the agreement to get to the ministry board, and when they approve, normally they will do it. But I'm afraid that we will have to wait a bit, because they will have to again adapt to whatever requirements they are going to put them. So I think it's not going to be a question, even if it's approved. I don't think it's going to be a question of weeks, 1 week or 2 weeks. It will need a bit of time by the traffic offices to adapt whatever they have to do.
They're saying it's the bulletin that has to go through the government, the parliament, the bulletin. Do you know much about that? It shouldn't take that time, but
yes, this is like any other decision or agreement from the government. This must be, when it's in a high level, of course, this needs to be taken to the board of ministries, and there they every week they have a meeting. I checked yesterday, because Hugh Elliott said, or not Hugh Elliott, the consulate, the embassy said that it was going to go to this meeting. Not this meeting. They said that in the next meetings. And yesterday, that was the last one. No, sorry, last Tuesday, I read the full summary of the full content of this meeting, and it was not there. So we will need to wait till next Tuesday if it's there, and if it's there, then again we will have to wait until all the procedures are in place in order to be able to apply. In any case, the recommendation to go and get the driving test, this medical test that they are asking. Yeah, I would wait a bit.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's going to be any issue.
I've told people that by the end of January, that's my prediction, by the end of January. I mean, I've been saying that for 5-6 months now, but we'll see. Okay, so we'll leave the driving license news for a little bit later on. I've got a question I want to put to you, because we're going to record this, and this is for Steve Nash, that might not be able to join us today. Now, Steve said that he's moved to Spain in November, and he has a small pension, which he says is not eligible for tax in the UK, but he's concerned that he has to declare it here in Spain. And if so, when does he have to declare it here in Spain?
He came in November last year, 2020.
Yeah.
2022. Right. Okay. This is how it works. Our fiscal year goes from January up to December. So it goes from the 1st of January up to the 31st of December. Anyone living in Spain or moved to Spain and stay here more than 6 months in a calendar year, well, they are eligible to be, or they are considered fiscal residents here. Those that are considered fiscal residents here should declare as fiscal resident in Spain, which means that you have to declare all your income worldwide. This gentleman that came in November 2022, as I said, the year starts in January. So for 2022, it is not necessary that he is doing anything, because he is not considered a fiscal resident of Spain. In 2023, if he stays in Spain, then it's different, because he will be considered fiscal resident here, and he needs to declare the income tax return as anyone else. Normally, if he has just a small pension, he's not obliged to declare, because those that get less than 14,000 euros in income, in pensions, are not obliged to submit any tax return in Spain. But for those that are coming here for the first time, I always recommend that at least the first time they declare, if they continue with this small lower than 14,000, just to say, look, I'm here. I'm a Spanish tax payer, not payer, but a Spanish tax resident, and I'm declaring as such. Because if you don't tell anything to the Spanish tax office, that's the way that they have to know that you are fiscal resident here.
Yeah, and technically you're supposed to declare absolutely any type of income that you get at all. Is that correct? Even if you don't end up paying tax on it, you should declare it.
Yeah, you have, when you become fiscal resident in Spain, you have to declare all your income worldwide. It doesn't matter where it's coming from. You can have one pension from the UK, one pension from the States, 5 pensions from another country. You have to declare all of them in Spain, with some small details, like if you were a civil servant, that is you have a different treatment. But I don't want to get much in details, but if someone that it was a civil servant, a policeman, judge, this kind of people working for the government, they have a special treatment, not a special treatment. These pensions are paying taxes in the UK, in this case, or in your country of origin, and not in Spain. That's a difference. But that's the only main thing that it could make a difference. Those they live from your pensions or salaries or anything like that should pay taxes in Spain, and just in Spain, because we find people that for some reason, when they've been here 2-3 years, they continue paying taxes in England, and they think that they are doing correctly, and this is not the case. If they are paying taxes in England, they are doing wrong, and Spain would not accept that you deduct that tax paid. So what we have to do, and we have this issue in many occasions, is that we have to declare in Spain as fiscal residents here and pay taxes here, and then you have to go back to England, in this case, and apply for a refund of the money that you paid in England.
Can we talk a little bit about the nomad visa, Alejandro? Now, we talked about this earlier on before we went on air, but a lot of questions about the nomad visa. Now, it's not actually out at the moment, even though it's saying everywhere on the internet it is available now. Can you just tell us a little bit about this, when it's coming, and what are the requirements for the nomad visa?
Yes, you are right. You can read everywhere that it's out. Where it's out is that the law has been approved. The law has been approved, and it's in our what we call BOE. That is like the book where everything, every decision is written, every law or every decree is there. Now, from that moment, administration need to adapt the forms, the how to work, the procedures. They need to adapt to this new thing. Because in the law, you don't say anything about how you need to apply, or the way you do things, or what form you have to fill in. So now they need to prepare what we call reglamento, that is like how we operate, how we manage. So that's what we are waiting. We are waiting for the procedures are in place, and we know how to apply. So for those that are waiting, I can't tell how long it's going to be, but I mean, maybe 1 month, maybe 1 month and a half. But I'm sure that in the first 6 months of 2023, everything will be in place, because they know this thing is very good for Spain in this case, and that they will probably issue and people could apply. I'm not sure how are they going to be the procedures, or how, if you need to apply your consulate in the place where you live, or they are going to do a special thing and do it from Spain. But yes, we need to wait. We know the general conditions are that you will get first 1 year of residency, and you can extend for 2 years more, so in total 3 years, and then you can apply for another 3 years if you are still here. That the role that you are doing, if it's an employee or you are self-employed, this can be done remotely, that you can work online. You need to prove somehow that you can do your job from Spain for someone outside of Spain. And And in case that you are an employee, you need to be working for that company at least 3 months. You will have
3
to demonstrate.
months. You need to be a minimum of 3 months. But that can
3
be
months.
in the UK or in Spain, no?
Second?
So you need to be working for that company in the UK or in Spain for 3 months. Just 3 months.
No, not in Spain, because if it's in Spain, you are resident
so technically
here.
It's got to be, yeah.
It should be outside of Spain, in any company outside Spain for more than 3 months. Imagine this person that is working in London for an English company, and he works from home. If he can prove that this work, the same as he's doing there, he could come to Spain to work because it's remote, and he can prove that he's been working or she's been working for that company at least 3 months with normally with the pay slips or the contract, and the company is established for more than 1 year. That's another requirement. Then you could apply for it and come to Spain to live.
Okay, and on this subject as well, say, for example, if I'm coming from the UK, can my wife come with me and my children? They can, can't they? Can we just say about your partners and your family with you on the visa?
Yeah, this is going to be for all the family, yeah.
So, but if somebody applies for the non-lucrative visa then and their wife comes with them, their wife will not be allowed to work here, will she?
Well, because with the non-lucrative visa, you are not allowed to work also. I mean, the person applying and the family are not allowed to work, at least for the first year. With this visa, nomad visa, you are working. You must be working. If not, you cannot get it. You cannot get it.
So because a lot of people are trying to find a way of coming here, and they think because there isn't so many requirements for the non-lucrative visa, they can come and then their partner can work. But really, if you're going to work here, excuse me, the best way is to go for the non-lucrative visa. And then after 12 months, you can do an amendment. I believe it's an amendment to that visa. And then you can start working here after 12 months. But the nomad visa is really for people that are going to be working online from home here in Spain. Is that correct?
Correct. I mean, this is great for those that are living outside Spain, and they could do this work from home or they are now doing, and because of that with after the pandemic, this system of working remote is very popular, and there are so many people in positions that in the past you couldn't imagine not to go to work every day, and now are working from home. And this is what the law is, of why that law is there, is for those that could work remotely, or even if you could go once a week or once a month, every 2 weeks you need to go to an office. But this is if you can do remotely, which your company is the one that will say in your contract that you can do it remotely. Maybe they will ask for a statement of the company, or they will ask for the contract. I don't know exactly, because these are the things that we are waiting for. But normally, I think that with a statement from the company saying that you are hired and that you will make you can do this job remotely, I think it would be enough.
Okay, I've got a question, Alejandro. I'm struggling to see. Let me put it up on the screen and see. If I retire in Spain in 2 years, can I expect to be able to stay 6 months out of 12, or can I only stay for 3 months at a time? Can you get a visa of some sort? Can we explain that one a little bit?
Well, you don't need to wait to retire to come to Spain. You can come before. The only thing is that you can stay now. If you don't apply for any kind of visa that we are talking, you can stay just 90 days every 180 days. So now with the actual law, there is no possibility, and I don't think this is going to change. Even if you hear rumors or you read things that they want to increase. In my opinion, this is not so easy because it's not depending just of Spain. But today, as said, you can stay 90 days, and probably in 2 years' time, the same. Could you get a visa?
People say to me, sorry, people say to me, you know, it will change in the future. Spain is losing out their need and that, but it's not Spain that needs to change this rule. If they're going to change it, it'll be the European Union, the European courts in Brussels, and they're not going to change it just for the British people, because if they do, they're going to have to change it for everybody, and that was the whole point of the Brexit in the first place. So yeah, they're not very happy with England leaving. So I don't think this. People were saying they're hoping now, you know, things would change, but you know, forget that one. It's not going to change anytime soon, is it?
I don't think so. No. Imagine that it's not just for the British. If they, or they should not do it just for the British. This rule is for all outside the European Union. So the Americans could say, okay, you are letting the British stay more than 90 days, and you are not letting me do it, or the Chinese, or the Russians. So I mean, anyone. This rule is international, and it's like the difference between you are on holidays and then you are not on holidays and you want to stay in that country. But it's the same anywhere. If you go to the States, 90 days is the the limit to stay there without a visa, with some requirements, other requirements, of course.
Okay, so all of you that are listening, watching in, if you've got any questions for Alejandro, any tax, residency questions, pensions, investments, things like that, now's your chance to put your questions to Alejandro. Anything about living and working in Spain, moving to Spain, let us have your questions. We'll try and answer them for you here. Now, Alejandro, earlier on we talked a little bit about the golden visa. Now, this is a really quite a fast and easy way to get into Spain if you can meet the requirements. And I believe you've had a few people that have got through in record time. Can you just tell us a little bit more about the golden visa?
Yes, you are right, David. This is just, for me, it's the best way if you want to have some like flexibility or easy path to come to Spain or to any other country within the European Union or the Schengen area. The golden visa, among other requirements, is basically you need to make an investment of a minimum of 500,000 euros in property. Could be one property or more. It's not just one house. It could be a house, or it could be commercial space, land, anything like that. And if you do a net investment of more than 500,000 euros for one person, then you will have the right to apply for this golden visa. You and your family, right?
This is 500. So somebody was buying a property here. Now, if they're buying a villa, it could well be over 500,000. That would entitle them and all their families to come and go as they please. Is that correct?
Of course, yes. I would say that if there is anyone reading or listening to us now that they are looking to do it, or if they read it or listen after, it's very important to ask someone before doing that. Why? Because it's tricky. Imagine a couple that are looking to buy a property of 600,000 euros. And I said at the beginning that all the family can come with them. But if they buy, normally you buy with your wife, so 50-50, your net investment is going to be 300,000 euros, not 500,000 euros. Even if the property is more than 500,000, you are buying your share is 300,000. So if you do that, you are not going to get the golden visa. How do you need to do it? Just buying one of the couple. So one of the couple should buy the property in one name, and then we can do other things to protect the other person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because obviously a husband and wife might not want the husband putting it all in his name and then telling the wife where to go when he meets a nice young Spanish lady. So there's ways around it though, isn't there?
Yeah. So there's ways to avoid that they do that. So that we could sign everything at the same time.
But also it's very quick as well, isn't it? You had somebody recently that went through it quite quickly.
Yeah, it's amazing. We have two options of doing that. Is you can do it if you are still in the UK. We can apply at the Spanish embassy. They give you a special visa, and then you have to come to Spain and apply. It's a bit longer, but there is a possibility that if you apply while you are in Spain, not legally, within the 90 days rule that we said before. If you are within these 90 days, we can apply. And the last one that we were amazed, the last one that we've done today, yesterday, we obtained for the wife that there was a small amendment. It took 1 week to be approved, and it's amazing because with that thing, with the golden visa, it gives you the possibility, opens so many possibilities, because you can live here or not. You don't need to stay permanent here.
Yeah.
You can work here or not. It's not necessary to work. You can work. But for those that, I don't know, they sell a house in England or in another country, and they invest some money, they want to invest, instead of investing in England, they could invest here. That if you buy, you can get a very good profitability. Even if you are not planning to come soon, it's a good thing, because it opens the possibilities. There are no borders anymore for those people. So I think it's very interesting because it's very easy. Another thing that is good, because they give you for 3 years initially. So in 3 years, it's a long time. And it's the best thing.
Okay.
Of course, we have the problem of the investment. If you are not able to invest that amount of money, no question about. But if there's anyone that they are looking, they have the money, not that you don't lose that money. It's only like another investment. You can buy a couple of houses, and then you rent the other one, and you obtain a profit. So yes, I think it's a very, very good way of looking to come to Spain. And not just for British. It's for anyone from the European Union.
Yeah. Okay. So we got a question. I've been living in Spain for 16 years, got the TIE, the Padron, and own my own property. Question is, how long can I leave Spain? Visiting family and friends in the UK. So he wants to go back to the UK. How long can he stay for out of the country, I presume?
Yeah, well, the withdrawal agreement says that with the TIE, with the Spanish residency, you could not leave the country for more than 6 months. But I don't think this is a big deal, because it should be consecutive 6 months. People really don't know if you are here or there, because with the TIE, you don't get any passport stamp, so they don't really know where you are. So I don't think it's a big deal. If you are moving back to England for a number of years, of course, it's better to get rid or to stop your residency, not just because of the legal part. It's also because of the taxes. You have to be careful, because if you leave the country and don't do anything, the tax office could come and ask for the years that you didn't declare, because they could think that if you don't tell them anything, it's like they consider you as fiscal residents. So if you need to leave the country for 7 months, 8 months for some reason, I don't think it's a big deal to do it. And I would not get rid of my TA, which is not easy to get, as you know.
Yeah. Okay. A question about the nomad visa. Can I apply for the digital nomad visa while I'm in Spain on the 90 days?
Well, this is one of the things that we are waiting to see procedures. I'm not sure yet. Because it's not. As said, the law is there. The law says basic requirements, but they didn't say where are you going to apply. If we follow the same system that we have with the golden visa that I said before, you could apply for Spain, but we need to wait until we take off. We have what we call reglamento and the procedures to see. But probably yes.
Yeah. Okay. This one is a little bit more in depth. If you move to Spain and work remotely for a UK company and get granted 12 months via the nomad visa, then you extend it to another 2 years. Are you more likely to be granted permanent residency after working in Spain for 3 years through the nomad visa?
Well, we need to wait because this is so new that we need to wait. Normally in Spain, you become, let's say, a permanent resident when you stay 5 years with a legal visa or legal residency. So I would think that it would be the same. Normally, you will have another extension, and they will, with another extension, that you will cover these 5 years, and then you can ask for a permanent resident. But as this is so new,
Have to wait and see on that one.
yeah, I mean, if you retire after these 3 years because it's your age of retirement and you don't want to work anymore, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you will have to apply for a non-lucrative visa or they will let you stay here.
Okay, Irish passport. Another question on the Irish passport. So yeah, if my partner moves here on an Irish passport, can I, as a partner, be allowed to live with him all year round?
Yeah, that is one of the advantages of the European passport, the Irish passport, is that if you have this passport, you can apply for a residency in the, let's say, the easy way or the old easy way, for the same way that is for Europeans, any European, or the old easy way for the English people. And your partner, if he's not Irish, could get the same, no problem at all. You just need to apply for this residency that we call familiar de no comunitario. That is like your family, familiar de comunitario. That is your family of someone that is from the European Union. And yes, you can live as long as you want in Spain. Also, for those, and this happens a lot, we find this a lot. Imagine this couple that they applied for residency before the Brexit. One of the couple, and the husband was still, or even after the Brexit, one of those both applied for the residency, but the other person didn't, because I don't know, he was still working, or she was still working in the UK. You don't need to apply for the non-lucrative visa or for any other kind of visa if your wife has a valid residency in Spain. You can apply through her if you prove that you are married. So yeah, for those, this happens a lot, that one of the partners of the couple didn't apply for some reason, and they think that they need to go through the difficult route, but it's not like that.
Apparently, I read on the internet the other day that the Irish passport people are swamped with people looking at their history of grandparents to see if they can get a passport. And at the moment, they're not stopping it. There's lots of people I know and a few people that are coming here this year that have been granted quite easily the Irish passport. So yeah, that's
yeah. But I heard that now there is so many people applying that they say that it's going to take 1 year to get it.
It's going to take a year now. Yeah.
Yeah, someone told me that it's not so easy, because imagine all British looking for all parents or family relatives with the possibility of getting this passport, and there are quite a few. I mean, I don't think this is necessary, because the non-lucrative visa is not so. Of course, it's money. Is 33,000 euros that you need to have, but I don't know. You could ask for a loan to a bank or to a friend or to a family, and get the money stuck in your account for a little bit of time, and then when you are here, you can give it back. I mean, it's money, but you need to understand that you need to live from something, and 32,000 euros is money to live 1 year, but it's not so much. So people need to understand that it's not just money set in your account, that it could be, but also everything can help. Imagine this person that you have, I don't know, 1,000 euros in total, or pounds in pensions. So they have 12,000 euros in a year, or 13,000, or whatever. Then they can, you can prove with that, and then the rest you can prove with savings or some loan that you get from a bank or from someone else. So, but it's not money that you can have the day before I apply. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to have at least that money for 6 months, I would say, so they can see that this money's been there for a while. Because if not, they can say, no, you ask the money to apply for it, and then you are going to give it back, so you will not have it. But there are ways, as I said, yeah, there are ways. Someone asked me, or maybe it was you before, if you could do it with having a property.
Yeah,
So
somebody asked me the other day about they've got a property in the UK that they've money, there's equity in the property. They had a mortgage on it years ago, and there's quite a bit of equity in the property. Can they use that as a form of getting here on a non-lucrative visa?
well, if you make money, the equity, yes. If you do it with this kind of companies that they pay you the equity like a mortgage, or and then you have that money and is in your bank account, yes. What is not accepted is like you have the asset, and that's it. They want you to be able to live from that money, and normally a house is not a quick liquid asset. So no, not just because of you have assets, you need to have any kind of income. And if you say that you have this equity, well, you can apply for this equity or to a financial company and get a bit of money, and with that money you could come here.
It has to be technically money in an account of some form. Then
Yeah, there could be like that, or you could rent that house. If you rent that house and you have a, I don't know, £1,000 every month, then you have part of the work done. They want to see that you are going to have regular income or savings to make your life in Spain without going to social care and those things.
yeah. I think I think the big hurdle that is stopping everybody really is the amount of money to show as income for the non-lucrative visa. If that was to be lowered by, if it was half of that, then it would be a lot more people moving here for sure. But it's just a little bit above what a lot of people can stretch to at the moment. But do you think, how strict are they when they ask for that amount? Is it pretty spot on the amount that they're asking for, or are people getting turned down if they haven't got that amount?
I would say so, yeah. Well, I'm not because let's say that we are in receiving them in Spain. I'm not. We don't apply in the UK. Maybe we do in the future, but we are not applying in the UK right now. So I don't know how many people are turned down, because but I think they are a bit strict on that, or they should be strict on that. But as I said, it's money, but it's not so much money. There are ways to get that money. As I said, with a loan. Imagine that you want to come next year or by the end of this year. I would apply for a loan today, keep it in a bank account, and then apply in 8, 9 months, 10 months. So the money was there,
Yeah.
set for. I mean, if you can get 33,000, maybe you should not plan to come to Spain. That's what I think.
Yeah. I always say to people, if you want it enough, you'll find a way. There's always a way if you look hard enough. And, people say it was easy for me when I came here. There wasn't the restrictions and the requirements, but also there wasn't the Facebook groups. There wasn't the help. I had to literally get on a plane and come here and spent a lot of money looking around and trying to find work. So there's different obstacles, and there's always ways around it if you find, if you look hard enough. And, this is it, 30 odd thousand euros. Well, it sounds like a lot of money, but really, 30,000 euros, if you really want to come here, you'll find a way. I've told people, sell up a lot of the stuff you've got in the UK. When I sold my house and all the other rubbish that I'd accumulated over the years, sell your cars and things like that, that soon adds up. So there are ways around it if you really keep looking for it.
Yeah. And yeah, at the end of the day, in the really long term, you will save money. If you are not able to have this 30 something euros, imagine living in the UK with not a big amount of money. The costs there are much higher than in Spain, of course, depending on where you go. But trying to live in the UK with, I don't know, 10, 12,000 pounds in a year, it's going to be difficult. But in Spain, I meet everyday people that they live with that money in a couple. So at the end of the day, if you will not be so struggle in the future if you try to get that money. I don't know from where, maybe from the equity of your house, or from loan from friends or family, or your sister, your brother. I mean, as you say, it's not such a big amount of money not to be able to get it, even if you need to give it back in the future.
Yeah. Now we've got a question here, and this one that I've answered on a few times. The thing that's stopping me, this person's asked, the thing that's stopping me from a non-lucrative visa is I can't work for the first year, and that would hurt my business. But the thing is, you know, I've told somebody else this is coming to stay in Spain to set up as a plumber here, and he's going to come on a non-lucrative visa. I've said, set up the business, start putting out flyers and leaflets, get your van done, get your sign writing done, get the shop and the premises up and ready. That time goes really quick. That first year, you know, you can start the first couple of months getting to know the area. And as I've said to people, you can work for people for nothing. Work for nothing. Do, you know, little jobs for people and don't charge them anything. So technically you're not working, just to get a bit of experience. And then when that 12 months is gone, you can start charging people. So that first 12 months goes really quick here. And anybody that's moved to Spain knows that, you know, you've been here, blimey, I've been here a year already. So 12 months goes very fast, and use that time here to set up the business, and don't let only that stop you from coming here on a non-lucrative visa.
All right. Yeah, I mean, and maybe this person that is asking, I want to clarify something. Of course, if you're a plumber, you cannot work in England or in Spain. But I mean, if you have a business there and your business can continue somehow in England, you could work remote, or you could go to England every 2 months. That would be enough. What you can't do is get an official work in Spain.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact that the consulate in England, if you are working on pay as you earn, they ask you to the P45 that you stop working.
Yeah.
But you could stop working and then you apply for another job while you are here, a remote work. I mean, there's lots of works that you could do from Spain to England. So yeah, it's true that you can't work, but you can't work in Spain. But anywhere else, who is going to check?
Another person asks, if I come with an Irish partner, would I have to show the 33,000 to come with them? Now it depends. If they're married, that's okay. But if they're a partner, they would have to have a civil partnership certificate. Is that correct?
Yes, you're right. I mean, if you are married to an Irish person, we commented that before, you could easily get the residency here through what we call familiar de comunitario. It's like you are a family of a European citizen. Easy. No, you don't need to prove anything. Any 33,000. If you are not married, that's more difficult, because you need to prove the link with this person, and the Foreign Office is not very easy, to prove this thing. With the civil partnership, you cannot demonstrate you cannot do it in Spain because you are not here. So I think I always say in my meetings that I encourage marriages because because we always say the same. And also for the future, for inheritance tax and so on, it's very important to be married, not just to be partners. So yes, I mean,
if it's both your dream, it might be an idea to get married, or at least in a civil partnership. Actually, a funny story. And when I was getting married here to my Spanish wife, Yanni, we had to go to the council for an interview, and I didn't understand at the time. I was being interviewed to make sure that I wasn't marrying a Spanish person just to get into the country. Really? And they asked me where we'd met when we first dated, how long we've been together. And I was all casually answering the questions, getting them all wrong. I said we'd been together for months, and it hadn't been months, and things like that. And I said we'd met on the beach, and it wasn't. It was in a nightclub. And at the end, Yanni said to me, "It's an interview, And I went, I didn't understand. And just muddled through it that way. But luckily, they realised that I had money and I had a property here and things like that. I wasn't marrying just to move into the country. But yeah, it works both ways. If you're marrying a Spanish citizen here, they make you go through quite a strict interview to make sure that you're not just getting married to get the passport. And the funny thing is as well, when we were married, my wife came with me to renew my passport, and we went to Malaga. And in the Foreign Office in Malaga, she said, "Oh, can I get an English passport now we're married?" You know, and so the Foreign Office looked at her a bit funny, thinking she had married me just for an English passport. But in the end, we didn't. We kept the passport separate. But yeah, there is some quite strict formality to go through when you're marrying a Spanish person here. Okay, so we've got another question. If after 5 years I've been temporary resident through the golden visa, what happens if I decide to sell our property, buy something less than 500,000, to still have the right to residency for 5 years? Residency. Oh, I can't see that. 5 years. Let me put it up on the screen.
Yeah, well, basically, what this gentleman is saying that, or lady, they are saying that what happens if after the 5 years of golden visa, you don't want to keep that property, or you want to sell it and downsize probably. As I said before, when you are with a legal residency in Spain for 5 years, you could get a permanent residency, which means that you don't have to prove it somehow.
Sorry, after 5 years.
Yeah.
And then but isn't it 5 years, and then after 5 years it's for 10 years?
Yeah, that's the thing, that after 5 years, this was what happened with the people that apply for the TIA or are still applying. If you have residency for more than 5 years, they are giving to you 10 years. But what I mean with that is, of course, you are not a citizen of Spain or you have a passport. It's that after 10 years, you have to renew it again with a soft conditions. It's just going there and renew. The same as we renew our passport or our ID every 10 years. But this doesn't mean that you are not a permanent resident. So after the 5 years of the golden visa or any other visa, and you've been living here, you could easily get a permanent, which will last 10 years, and this will be smoother after.
Yeah, I think in that case he was asking, probably want to downsize the property after a while, as most British people do. They downsize to a smaller property. So yeah. So the non-lucrative visa, Alejandro, the people say, it's impossible now, but there's still, every week you're getting clients. There's people moving here, and a lot of people are still getting the non-lucrative visa. It slowed down obviously since Brexit, but people are still moving here every week. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have a lot. Yeah, and many people are coming. I mean, as I said before, or you said, is if you want to come, it's not so complicated. I mean, they were asking. It's true that where England, UK was in the European Union, for someone from Ireland, in this case, they are asking 5,500 to prove that you have. Now instead is 27 for the first person. It's money, but at the end of the day, it's not so much money. And if you want to live from something in Spain, or you are not going to work, you need to live from something. So, yeah, as I said, there are ways to prove it, and it's not just having the money in your bank account. You can have one pension plus a rental plus, I don't know, dividends plus loan that you can ask and keep the money for a while in your bank account. So there are ways of getting, and that loan you just give it back after you apply. You have to be careful, because when you renew it, we said that 1 year goes very, very fast, and if you want to renew again with the money because you are not intending to work or start a business, then you will have to prove it again, right? So
can I just say as well, on the non-lucrative visa, now a lot of people are saying, how does that work after you've been here a year? Now, a lot of people, and you've had clients as well, and I've talked about this, that have been here 1 year on a non-lucrative visa. They've decided to change that visa to a working visa, and they're now working here, and they've set up and been approved. Is that correct? You've had several people in that respect.
We didn't talk about that. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear now. Yep.
It's okay.
Yep.
Yeah. What I was saying is that for people that do not know the process. There's some incoming things in my website. Yeah, I was saying that after 1 year, you need to renew it, and you can renew 3 ways. The first way that you can renew is the same way that you apply for, that is with the money, or to prove with money or income, or regular income. The second way to prove it or to renew it is that you've been offered a job because you want to work. You're in the age of still you want to work, and you can be offered a job, and you can renew or switch to a working visa. Or the third way is that you can renew starting a business, because you want to start a business, any business, nothing complicated. You could start anything, and you can apply for this renewal through the business. The big obstacle, and people need to think that if you want to renew with money, the next renewal is for 2 years. So in theory, not. Depend on where you ask. If you ask, for example, in Almeria, that is where my business is based, although we can work whole Spain. The Foreign Office in Almeria is asking just the proof of 1 year income. If you go to Malaga or Alicante or other provinces, they're asking to prove 2 years of income. This is certainly a difference. This is then you need to prove 60 something euros, which makes a difference. You have to be careful with that, and prepare for the year after. That goes very fast.
Yeah. That and this person's asking a question. The amount is 27,000, isn't it? 27,500 something officially, but it's more or less.
It's more or less. The thing is that it's based on a minimum salary that we call IPREM, and they say that is 4 times the IPREM. So if you multiply and do this calculation, it goes to 27,000 euros, and the second person is 100% of the IPREM, so it's 7,000 more or less. That's why is this 34,000 euros.
Yeah, so 27 for the first person and 7 for the second. And what about children?
The same. It should be 7 for each of the children.
7 for the children as well. Okay, so yeah, so when you get the 30,000, 34,000, that's for 2 people. That's for 27 and a 7 more or less. But yeah, I read several different articles, but it's 27,000 something or other. So yeah, work on 27,000 for 1 person.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
if it's a young family with kids, I think the non-lucrative visa is not the best way, as long if you don't have the money. We should find for maybe wait for the nomad visa.
Okay. Brilliant. Okay, well, shall we round it up there, Alejandro? I know your time is very important, and really appreciate you answering our questions, and hopefully we can do this again soon in the future. Thanks very much, Alejandro, for joining us this afternoon.
No problem. Thank you. Bye-bye. Cheers.
Okay.